Righto, so this morning it's been a little bit of time just to make a couple tweaks extra from the tweaks adjustments that I made for the mock-up, which I've made for my friend. And yeah, so at home I am now going to transfer all the changes, tweaks and everything to some tracing paper, so then she has the Lyra dress pattern for her size and with the amended tweaks that needed. So yeah, just kind of the adjustment on the shoulder, the cap of the sleeve needed to be raised up a little bit, also the side seams, both the back and front bodices, that needed to be raised up. Here you can see that I've just pinned, although it was kind of okay to leave as is, but there was just a tiny little bit of fabric, so I will amend and take that out. So yeah, just a little tweak there. And she's going to have shorter sleeves, so that's just there in case you wanted the 3/4 or full length. And the bust darts that I had ordered, they are in the correct place, so that was just the first time with that. And also on the skirt, as I said before, just kind of just reduce a little bit of the gathers and just take off some of the amount of fabric, so then overall the length of the skirt pieces, so there's 2 panel pieces to the Tilly and the Buttons Lyra dress, there's the other one. So yeah, just reduce that a little bit so the dress is not so long for her. So yeah, hopefully, cross fingers, after all that, when she then decides to cut into the real fabric, she will not only have a Lyra dress, she'll have a Lyra dress that is tweaked to her body measurements and sizes. So hopefully a win-win. Cross fingers. Righto, so it is this time, and looking inside the box, it is getting ever so closer as each day passes, and there's not very many of the little Chrissy parcels left. So it's day 17, obviously, and going to have a rummage. There we go. Let us see what is inside. Oh wow. There's some snips. They're metal ones. Awesome. And I use these snips quite a lot, especially on shirts and things like that. And awesome, great size as well. So let me know what you use your snips for. Have such a snapping time. Righto guys, what are we going to do with you? I did say yesterday, please do not message me. And yeah, I received messages Guys, I know you're really kind to make offers and or kind of make me feel that I should open a Ko-fi and or a Patreon, and I know your hearts are all in the right places, but I must reiterate, it is not something that I want to do. It just makes me feel incredibly uncomfortable. I like the interaction that we have, and I have made some friends, not many, and I mean proper friends, not acquaintances. And that, along with you liking my video, coming by, watching my videos, you know, spending the extra time to comment, that and making the friends far outweighs anything monetary. It is just so important to me of that alone. So please guys, understand this is kind of the main reason why I started my channel, mainly for me to learn and kind of just go through this journey, spend my journey with you, kind of like a diary. People come, people go, you learn things from each other, you bounce ideas off of one another, you know, and if you're really lucky, you make a couple of good friends, really good friends, and hopefully even lifelong friends, you know. And even if that does not happen, just the simple act of somebody liking the video, watching the video all the way through, you know, and commenting, and you get that interaction that way, and that to me is priceless. No money can ever buy anything like that. I kind of in the thought of, if this is for me, this is me speaking for me, if I do not have the money, I go without. End of. Now, depending on what it is and depending on the circumstances through life, sometimes that has been incredibly hard. Hard is just so mild. And again, as I have said before, unless people go through things, they have absolutely no idea or understanding of what it is like for those of us that do go through things, no matter what it is. It could be a bereavement, it could be a loss of a partner, it could be a loss of a occupation that they had, they worked so hard for, and whatever reason, that position, they lost it. There's so many variables. For me, the last few years, a lot of my life has been dictated by my medical problems, and that obviously kind of resonates through different occupations, jobs, positions, whatever you like to call it, and therefore that reflects a lot of things. I am not going to get into all the details. I'm hoping sooner rather than later that kind of the work side of things are going to change, and that is because when you're in medical situations like I am, you have to learn to adapt, whether you want to or not. You just have to, even if it means changing your morning routine, you know, any routine. There are ways. This is why I think sometimes some people cannot understand. They see someone that is, say, disabled, and they just kind of think if you're disabled then that means you cannot do anything. No, actually there are so many variables to that. You can be disabled, but you know, some days are 10 times worse than other days. And then if you're seen on a slightly better day, it's like, oh, well then you've got nothing wrong with you. Or you're pretending, or you're making it up. No, actually live in the shadow of that person and or people to actually see for yourself of what it is kind of like, what to go through. You'll never know until you go through something yourself. That's the same for anybody and anything in any situation. So yeah, we have to learn to adapt and change things to kind of fit into what it is. And that's like with anything, it's like evolution. Things, life change, regardless of whether you've got nothing wrong with you. We still have to learn, change and adapt to our surroundings. even with like people, you can get on with people so well, then something will happen and the dynamics will change. So you either change with it and, you know, the things that shape you, or you're not able to. Okay, things are not great at the moment, again. I have had a life where everything is always very up and down. To me, I am used to that. You know, and I have been in very grave situations where, yeah, sometimes it has been a matter of life or death. I am nowhere close to anything like that. You know, I can purchase food. You know, TE does not go without. He's showered with love and care and support and stability and trust and, you know, cuddles, and, you know, I'm so proud of him. I show that I'm proud of him. All the support, mentally, emotional, you know, physically, whatever. He gets all of that in, you know, leaps, bounds, whatever the expression is. And that is, again, that is priceless. You cannot pay for that. And I am somebody that will always be an appreciative person, a grateful person, and if anything, that's kind of what I would hope to get back in return, and nothing more. And again, I know you guys send lovely gestures of gifts and things, and that just really touches my heart, and I'm so grateful. But you really do not have to do that. And I know I get told off. I got told off today by my friend, oh, I do so much for people. Yeah, and that is me. That is what I do. Okay, I know I get used and spat out and treated like you know what. And yeah, I've had my fingers burned horrendously because of that. And they don't care. But I have learned to kind of rein it in a little bit. With a few things that are going on behind the scenes, hopefully certain circumstances will change for the better. Cross fingers. So please guys, do not worry. You know, I'm not street poor. Okay, I do not have much financially speaking. You know, this is my friend's house. I've always told the truth about that. You guys know that. You know, and if it was not for my friend, we would not have a roof over our head. You know, and even with the same friend, sometimes there's been circumstances where, yeah, we've had to live in a car and or kind of couch surfing. You know, even when TE was really little, there were times where, I have touched upon this before, where he and I lived on our own. He was small, and yeah, we were absolutely frozen solid, like icebergs. You know, food was hardly there. I scraped together and I did my best to do what I did. You know, clothe him, feed him and everything. He never went without, I did. I lost a huge amount of weight and stuff like that. However, out of that, I just think maybe that's why the cold just does not really ever bother me, and I never kind of get crook in the sense of germs, bugs, bacterial things. I have not had a cough, cold, sniff, you know, flu, whatever you want to call it, for about 11 years now. Unless my immune system is just really, really good. But I just get other medical things that are, you know, it's head stuff, heart stuff, abdominal, back, leg, feet and kidney, those sorts of things. Again, I'm not going to go into details because it's private. And it's just stuff that I have to live with. If I have to get to a situation where I am able to make videos, that is because either, you know, when TE borrows my friend's laptop, it's because you know that they have an old laptop. I've touched upon this before. It may blow up. And then it's entirely up to my friend if they wish to purchase another one for us to occasionally, you know, borrow. My phone, you know, is running out of space. Okay, I know there's measures to put things on those memory thingies. I am not technically minded, sorry guys, so just bear with me. You know, I can free up space and kind of configure things when I kind of learn how to do that, and I just use the space that I have over and over again, if that makes sense. Yes, I hope doing my best here to kind of explain to you guys. I do not really want to go down that avenue of people gifting money through those different avenues of like Ko-fi and Patreon and whatever else is out there. That's just not me. So absolutely no. If I want to get a few extra things, and or if things are hard, I have stuff. I can sell stuff. If I cannot sell something, then I will do something and earn the money a different way. I am somebody, and again, some people can relate to this. You're in certain situations that are really, really horrendously bad, and somehow you just, where possible, are able to eventually make something happen, which then is a link to then leads to something else and something else. So yeah, I don't know. Some people kind of just think, oh yeah, you know, she's got a roof over her head. She's you know, got this. She's got a sewing machine. She's got loads of fabric and stuff like that. Yeah, that is when I was able to afford, you know, all the fabric and all the bits and pieces that go through it. And as you know, sewing is not inexpensive. It can be very expensive, and I live within my means. It just means that I go without until. So what? That's okay. So please guys, don't worry. Please, please, please. I know my circumstances may come across really strange for some people, but like I said before, there was no mould when I was created. So yeah, I know it's strange and I know it's not for everybody, but then we are all different for the most part. Also, just quickly regarding my channel, I hoped to bring you far more content than what I have over the last 3 years. It's just I lack confidence, and I do struggle with that, and I have my entire life. And also bringing cohesive videos, so then it's not all junk, says me, that probably has only ever created junk. I am way too down to earth and very shy to be anything like these people that are extroverts and bubbly and yeah, you know, bam, ha, ha, in front of the screen. Oh, I just shy away from things like that. I'm so real. Even real can be scared of real from me. And just quickly touching back upon when you're living with pain and kind of doing day-to-day tasks, and do not take this the wrong way because I do not mean this to come across anything. I enjoy bringing videos to you and varied videos. I know it has been said to me, oh, this is a sewing channel, you should only be doing sewing. Actually, if you stop and think, yes, my channel's varied, but it's varied for different people's tastes, and somebody may come to my channel who actually likes the variation, and if there's just something that they really enjoy, not only are they going to come back, but it might be something that they may not get to see and or hear about. So again, my friend and I were kind of talking similar things like this today, and when I used to work in the medical profession, home care nurse, it's like sometimes the client that you went to may not have any friends or family, may not be able to go out, and you are the only person that they see. So therefore, the conversations and everything that happens in the time that you are there is really wonderful to them. And it's their highlight of their day, week, depending on how many times you call to see them. And again, it's just like vloggers. People come to people's channels for varying reasons, and sometimes they may not necessarily go there for the content. It might be just because they like that person, it's pleasing to them, to hear their voice, or maybe whatever they're talking about, not necessarily what it is that they are making, creating. I have had many a conversation with people who suffer medical things, and it's kind of the same situation, that a lot of us do not kind of get the help that we need, and therefore then you're left kind of in limbo and things get worse. And then it's almost like they turn around and say, well, you should have come here earlier, you should have spoken to us sooner. Well, yeah, we did, and you did nothing, or you did very little. You don't listen, you don't appreciate. There is not always that kind of one-to-one, that understanding, and not everybody is textbook. As things can sometimes get worse, you lose friends, you lose your occupation or the position that you may have held in your place of work, and it's hard. You almost become invisible in society. Righto guys, I have been yakking for about 15 minutes. This video without me yakking probably would have only been about 4 minutes. But again, you could I cannot even speak now. You can skip this segment. Yeah, so please guys, understand I will not ever take any money gifted via I will not be ever setting anything up, so you guys cannot ever send me any money, so no. I really am appreciative of all your kind thoughts and everything, and I know you'd like to help, but guys, please, no, it is okay. If I'm really sort of in dark times, I have a friend that does help out, so yeah, I'm not going to get into that. You know, that's been a very up and down journey. I mean, nothing to do, they do not mind helping, and they know, they trust me, you know, implicitly, you know, that I've never defaulted or anything like that. It's not that sort of situation. It's just me. I just feel, anyway, listen, I'm not going to get into this, and also the recording is getting like glitchy now, and so the movements are looking really strange, so everything probably is going to be out of timing. Anyway, thank you for listening, guys. Right, I'm gonna go now.